and the gates swing open, these wild souls step back into the world of nature. No more bars or confinement. The land they belong to is calling them home. Stay with WOWTV and experience animals being freed for the first time. This fortunate tiger escaped an uncertain fate after wandering into a village by accident. This crocodile was a victim of the illegal wildlife trade. For 10 long years, it was confined to a cramped concrete pit with no water, no sunlight, and waste all around it. Rescuers poured every ounce of effort and skill into giving it a second chance at a life. A narrow cage could never contain a wild spirit. Simba the lion endured a difficult chapter in a circus in France. After a 20-hour journey, he finally walked free in Africa with quiet strength.
Yuppie! Yay! Going to look for Bella.
A beautiful new journey begins right here. For 19 years, this elephant carried tourists at a busy attraction. Over time, the weight wore him down, body and spirit alike. That's when rescue volunteers stepped in, determined to reunite him with an old friend. Badgers are known for their fierce nature and constant alertness. Even after being helped, this one couldn't fully relax, its eyes fixed on the man.
One out. There you go. There you go. Head her out. Jesus Christ. Stop! Get out! Yeah! Get out of there! Just take it out!
Watch yourself, Joe.
I got it attached over there. Get out of there! Goodbye!
After 2 nights trapped in a swamp in Indonesia, the giant leatherback turtle was at last guided back to the ocean by local residents. One of the first 5 rhinos relocated to a national park in Nepal. It wasn't just a release, it was the beginning of a richer, more balanced ecosystem for the forest. A trap may restrain the body, but it can never break the bobcat's wild nature.
you gotta go.
Run free and follow the call of the wild. This wolf was abandoned in a town torn by war. Moved from one wildlife trafficker to another, it suffered greatly before eventually finding safety in a sanctuary in Greece. Arden, a 4-year-old chimpanzee, endured a childhood shaped by harsh experiments. Now at Chimp Haven, Arden is finally living fully, surrounded by a new family. Overhunting caused beaver populations to decline at an alarming rate. In response, scientists have devoted years of effort to restoring and protecting the species. Each cautious step marked their first moments in unfamiliar territory. Little by little, the young bears began to adjust to life inside the nature reserve. Watching this leopard run, no one would guess it once suffered a leg injury that made walking difficult. Now it's ready to adjust and embrace a new life.
Now let's just look at it.
What's going on?
Check it out. Look.
The drums echoed like a signal of new beginnings, a new horizon waiting for the bison ahead. This would be a difficult rescue and an emotional one. For 12 long years, these 3 bears were kept in poor conditions before they were finally discovered. After 12 hours of non-stop effort, they stepped into the light for the very first time in their lives. The fox was fortunate not to suffer serious injuries after being struck by an arrow. A smooth recovery soon made it possible to return to the wild where it belongs.
заповідному біотопі. Це відновлена. Вау! Гагата. Ой! Ой! Ага. Давай, давай. До водички.
That's all.
Even as an apex predator, a shark isn't immune to injury by a grouper. With 30 years of veterinary experience, Neil Burney helped it back to its journey offshore.
Okay, here we go.
This man released 300 snakes into a safe area deep in the forest. To him, they're allies that help protect crops from destructive pests.
You want to pop that?
Wow, wait, let me get it. Oh my gosh.
Go free.
What if they don't want to go?
They come home with me.
The first steps of these 22 horses marks the beginning of a wide-open journey ahead.
Yep. 1, 2, 3. You're so yeah, there you go. Yes.
Tom and Misha, two devoted dolphins, spent years alongside a marine attraction, helping create lasting memories for visitors. Over time, their health began to decline. That's when the Back to the Blue project was launched, with one goal: to guide them to their natural home. The polar bear was moved to northern Newfoundland, where it returned to the sea ice and headed north again.
Wait for this wave, watch your wave. Okay, on this next one. 1, 2, 2, 3. You go, straight in under the press.
दोस्तों इस प्रकार से ऐसे मेजबानों को इन्हीं जंगलों में रिलीज करने के लिए आप ये देख सकते हैं। एक साथ सबका लीजिए।
What was the monkey's first action upon rejoining its troop? It ran straight into the arms of its family. Young rhinos are especially vulnerable before they can defend themselves, yet this rhino was abandoned by its mother at just 1 month old. Thankfully, a wildlife conservation team found it in time and stepped in to help. To mark World Wildlife Day, a group of volunteers helped an orangutan return to the wild. The relocation came after its habitat was severely damaged by plantation development. Magnoni welcomed a male hippo to support the pod's breeding efforts. After 4 years in a confined aquarium, this ragged-toothed shark's time there is coming to an end. Though the change may feel unfamiliar, it's a necessary one. Wild animals were never meant to live within walls. After accidentally getting caught in a fisherman's net, this crocodile spent 6 years in captivity. Once authorities discovered the situation, they stepped in immediately. Their slow first steps and pure playful joy make it hard to imagine the confined days they once experienced. They had been kept inside a cramped enclosure, unable to move or roam freely. We're all hoping this little squirrel makes it home safe. Many gathered to witness the hawk's return to the open sky after it was found nesting in a high-risk spot.
Was out of my flesh. Come on, buddy. All right. Okay, friend. Off you go. Check it and go. Straight into the water.
Relocating the alligator to a healthier habitat was a key step in allowing the rescue team to fulfill their greater mission.
It's dangerous, but we're doing it. Go ahead, bud.
Go, bud.
Go ahead.
Welcome to the family.
Go
Yay! Go get him, fella. Woo!
Kum Min was released from a life of labor to live freely with the herd in the forest of northern Thailand. As Asian elephants face the threat of extinction, safe habitats like this play a vital role in their survival.
Free elephant. Off you go.
To stay safe, these opossums carefully sniff the air, assessing their surroundings before getting comfortable. Easy there, buddy. He's only trying to do what's best for you.
Come on. Act right. Here we go.
Get.
After getting caught in a trap, the wolf lost its trust in people. But in just a few quiet moments, that fragile trust will slowly begin to rebuild.
Do it. Get away. Back off.
Get it!
Snared deep in the forest, the wolverine seemed to believe its story would end there. Then, in that fleeting moment, a stranger chose to save it. An unexpected mishap left an alligator hooked by a fishing line. But the ending was far more hopeful. Looking into the volunteer's eyes, you could tell he wasn't ready to say goodbye to the gull he had grown so fond of. The moment we've all been waiting for is here. These sea turtles are finally returning to the Caribbean Sea, a true second chance.
None the worse for wear. Oh, these are the littler ones.
The amber tiger couldn't wait another instant to disappear into the forest. After washing ashore in Queensland and miscarrying her calf, this dolphin was gently cared for by rescue staff, grateful for the quiet dedication of the team who stood by her side.
Ciao, ciao. Woo! Oh.
Fifi once lived a pressured life in a zoo, surrounded by cages and staged performances. Her thin frame and arthritis made every step feel heavy and slow. But that dark chapter has given way to something brighter, the warm sunlight of the Peruvian mountains. These once captive white storks have finally taken their very first flight. After a year of steady medical care, the two moose are slowly returning to the embrace of the wild. The harsh ocean environment can be unforgiving for young animals, leaving these 3 sea lions malnourished and affected by domoic acid. After careful treatment and rehabilitation, they've finally recovered and are ready to go home. At first, his resistance makes it seem like this elephant isn't happy about being moved. But in truth, they're freeing him from a trap and guiding him back to the forest. Their eyes said everything, marked by silent cries for help. Now, these 3 bears are being welcomed with open arms at a sanctuary in Russia. Without hesitation, the short-tailed weasel darted off at an impressive speed. After days of human care, the young lynx reclaimed its natural home. That moment stands as a quiet reminder of our responsibility to protect and preserve the wild.
Damn, look at that dude's crazy. Whoa, Gerald.
A giant octopus was accidentally caught in a fisherman's net. Instead of keeping it, they chose to do the right thing.
Look at that thing, it's huge. Whoa. Wow, that was awesome, huh?
Epic, dude.
That was so majestic.
I've been coming out here for 20 years, never seen that.
Wake up and do that.
Just watching the way he holds the little deer says everything about the love he has for
About
animals.
the safest place I can put him. Okay, little boy, come on. Up. Let's go. Let's go. There we go.
Its sudden appearance near the Parliament building raised safety concerns for everyone around. Rescue teams quickly arrived to manage the situation. Those lingering glances from the seals before they had to leave were almost too much to bear. Doves are a symbol of peace. Releasing them is a gentle farewell, a quiet wish for a calm journey beyond. Wildfires must be strictly managed to protect the habitats every living creature depends on. especially the jaguar, a species that relies entirely on the natural world to survive. These seals carry scars from their past, but with the support of dedicated nonprofit organizations, their future holds far more promise.
Emily and Lindsay, are you able to take the masks off from their safety? And when you are, please do. Get above these cameras.
Freedom isn't a gift. It's a right that belongs to every living being. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe and share so you won't miss what comes next.